Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. Today I'm going to show you how, this is my berry house, and it became quite a bit overgrown. The strawberries are all on this side, usually have them down the centre, and I have my raspberries all the way around here and around the other side with my blueberries and red currants. And they get quite overgrown, so my blueberries get smothered underneath the raspberries, and today I'm actually going to revamp the whole area. So stick around and I'll show you what I do. So this is from the outside of my berry house, and these are the recycled pallet timbers made into half beds for the strawberries. Now I'm going to do something similar on the other side of the berry house, just over there, and on the other wall as well. And these are the raspberries, and in there somewhere are some blueberry plants. I'm actually going to get rid of all the raspberries. I don't want them anymore for the amount of water and work space they take up and the amount of raspberries I get. It's not worth having them. So I'm going to fill up my extra space with blueberries. Whilst I'm at it, I'll show you how we've done our veggie patch. So these two patches here are just made out of old machinery crates, and they've been lined with some tin. And over here, these are all recycled pallet timbers, and I'll post a link in the corner for Chris's Ultimate Recycler pallets, so he'll show you how to actually pull them apart and put them together to make these raised garden beds. So this is our veggie patch going down to our berry house. But today we're going to use a whole heap of recycled boards from the outside of a house, and a whole heap of hardwood and other bits and pieces that I can scrounge around from the backyard. So the boxes I'm making today are all recycled timbers. So the first thing I want to do is cut up all my boards. These are going to be my corner pieces to the height that I actually want the top of my garden bed to be. So what I've done here, these are 550 long, and again, these are just offcuts from our wood pile. I think these were from our burning pile, but anyway, what I'm going to do is put the two pieces together like that, and I'll put a screw in to the side of that to keep the two together, and then my lining boards will actually go all the way along here, or my weatherboards from the old house. So that's what my plan is, and these are actually going to be a little bit higher, and my weatherboards will probably end around about here, and I'll just fill those up, kind of match it in a little bit with the other beds that I've already got. So these are my corner supports. I'm going to just go and cut all of these up, and then I'll cut up some supports for the centre as well, because my garden bed is a little bit long. So I'm going to go and do that. So I've cut my boards to size, and I've got my little piece and my bigger piece, and I'm just going to screw those onto here, just like I've done here. So that's screwed on nicely in 3 places, and what I'm going to do now is just pre-drill 3 holes in each of these skinny sticks that I've got here, or these skinny bits of timber that I've got here. So all I'm going to do is pre-drill 3 holes in each one of these. Watch out, Coco. Watch out. And there's no particular area that I'm doing it. I'm just going to do one near the top and the bottom, and one in the centre. There's no exact spot where they need to go. With the bigger pieces of timber and my little helper down here, all I'm going to do is line up the drilled holes, or the edge of the board, with the edge of the bigger board, and I'm just going to screw that straight down. So I finished all my corner bits and I've laid them out in my berry house just to see roughly where I want to put them. What I've done here with my weatherboards is just measured 2600 so that I can actually do the very short ends of the berry house, and then I can actually start doing the long ends. Okay, now I'm ready to actually start building this. So these are my two end pieces, and I'm just going to put some short boards on the inside of my timbers. Now the reason I'm going to put them on the inside is because my dirt is going to be on the inside as well. And if I put the boards on the outside, the dirt's going to end up pushing the boards out and they're not going to stay in place. So if I put my boards on the inside here, screw those in, then the timber's going to, the timber behind it is actually going to support these boards and the dirt will stay in place. So I've got my boards, and all I want to do is have my long pieces on the outside and my short ones on the inside. And I'm going to lay my boards on the inside of this. So if I lay my first one inside like that, now I'm going to leave a gap at the top because I don't actually want to fill it all the way to the top, but I do want it sitting close to the bottom. But because these are weatherboards, I actually need to layer them over the top of each other. So I'm just going to put one on top of that groove, just like that. And there we have it. And I think when you're building a house, the grooves actually go that way, but I'm going the other way. I'm not building a house. It's for my berry house though. So what I want to do is line up the boards close to the bottom. They don't have to be right at the bottom though. I'm probably going to leave about half an inch, quarter of an inch. Doesn't have to be perfect. I've just realised it's not even going to be seen because it's going to be covered in dirt, so I don't have to make it perfect. Okay, so all I need to do now is screw these boards into place. And I'll only need one screw in each board. So there we go. That is how the box is going to look on the inside, which nobody will ever see. This is how it's going to look on the outside. So it's just the raw weatherboard, nice and rustic looking. Doesn't matter about any of the other nails or any blemishes because that's all part of the character of the berry house. So now I can go and do the long liney boards I'll do those inside the actual berry house rather than out here. So what I've done over here is I've built my boards on the back and the front. Now on the back I've actually just measured my boards and screwed them onto these beams here, and I've done that from the outside. With the boards on this side, I've actually built them the same way I've built this, put my posts in, and then I've just laid the boards out and screwed them all together and lined it up against the back board. I've decided to go with the white on the outside for two reasons. Well, actually one only. I'm not sure if this is leaded paint, and I don't want the lead leaching into my soil, so that'll actually look kind of cool anyway. But I'm going to have the raw timber on the inside just in case there's any leaching. I'll probably line the inside. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, it's going to be white weatherboards on the outside. And I've kind of made a little bit of a mistake as well. I've made this a little bit too long, but it's going to be a design feature. So I'm going to actually make use of that extra length by giving myself some extra support when I do my bed going across this way. So I've decided while I was at it, I might as well make a centre box for the middle of the berry house. So all I've done here is grabbed some more offcuts of timber, just cut them down to size, and I've made a little angle where my timbers are going to sit. So I'm going to have these like that, my timbers going across on the inside, or my weatherboards, and the timbers will be on the inside, and so they won't actually push out and come away from the timber because of the weight of the wood. So I've got one more long one to make before I can put it together with my short ends, and this is one I've just finished. So there's the weatherboards on the outside, and on the inside they're just screwed together along the sides. So I've got one more to make, and then I can box it. Okay, so my long side bits have been finished, and I'm thinking that there's too much weight in this to actually build the box outside. So I'm going to take these into my berry house and finish the sides inside. Okay, so I've moved the chip bark out of the way, and this is where I'm actually going to put my centre box. So I've just got to go and get my end panels and put them on. So here we go, I'm completely finished with the build of the boxes. So now I'm going to be able to put my blueberries all in here rather than having them in pots drying out. and decided later to do a centerpiece or a center box, and all of that will tie in nicely with the recycled pallet timbers that we used when we did the initial berry boxes. So this is all done with old weatherboards. I've used some old pieces of red gum. There's some pallet timbers in here, all completely recycled timbers, and the only thing that was new were the screws. It's hard to imagine that all of these plants, these are strawberries that were in the centre where my centre boxes are, blueberries, raspberries, and there's red currants there, and there's another blueberry over there. But it's hard to imagine that all of these plants were actually in the berry house. So I'm going to cull a lot of this, keep the blueberries and red currants, add some more blueberries and some more strawberries, and fill up the boxes. So here we go, the garden beds are completely finished now. This is the centre one that I've done with the weatherboards. I've gone and filled it up with some dirt that we've got. We actually do a great dirt mix of compost, worm castings and all sorts of things, plus what we get from the local garden supply centre. So this is the long bed that we've done, or that I've done, all the way around to meet with my old bed. So these strawberries, I've just pulled everything out, replanted them. I'll actually put that in another video sometime in the future, but for now this is the finished garden beds. Pretty happy with them. So I've got all blueberries in this bed here, blueberries over here. These are my old ones which were pretty sad from being smothered from all the raspberries, and my red currant, I've hacked that right back, but it'll come back, it grows really well. And some new strawberries from the runners that I had in my overgrown strawberry patch. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see any more like this, let me know. I've got a massive garden and I'm always happy to show off what I'm doing next. Catch you next time.